When I found out that Xreal released this, I thought it was going to be a slam dunk for them, that they're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of every other company that does virtual glasses. But I was wrong, because this is good, but it's not great. If you have Xreal hair glasses or you have Rokid glasses, chances are you've heard about this and you've seen a lot of videos. Well, where my video is going to be different is a lot of the videos that you've watched are reviewers of, you know, people that were sent the product to review, a lot of sponsored videos. So they're not going to tell you the things that I'm about to tell you in this video. There's a lot of reasons why you might not want to buy this. Things that I'm going to say that if you actually knew about it might make you want to cancel your order or not get it at all until it's, finally ready. And for those of us who have it, like me, I'm going to tell you reasons why I'm going to be keeping it and why you actually might want to get this. What is the beam? The beam basically allows for more compatibility to other devices. So there are some devices that doesn't have USB Type-C, or they don't have video output, or they do have video output, but the compatibility is just not working well. This bridges the gap and allows you to connect to a lot more devices, either via cable or via streaming, wireless casting. I want to get into why I personally got it. The reason why I got it is, first of all, I have a Samsung Fold 4, which is pretty compatible with the device, but I find myself using Samsung DeX a lot. Samsung DeX is one of the greatest features of Samsung premium phones. It basically turns anything with a screen into like a computer, right? So when my glasses are connected, it basically turns this glasses, the Samsung DeX is streaming into it, and it feels like I'm using a computer. The problem with that is that when I'm using Samsung DeX mode on the glasses, my screen is fixed. Basically, when I move my head, the screen follows me. Wherever I move my head, the screen follows me. Using that actually causes high fatigue. The reason it causes high fatigue is because, let's say I have the screen in front of me like this, right? And I want to look at something to the top of the screen, I would have to roll my eyes. If I want to look at something at the bottom of the screen, I have to roll my eyes down. I can't just move my head, because if I do move my head, the screen follows me. So for me to look at anything, I will constantly have to roll my eyes, which causes fatigue. Anybody that's used his glasses in the mirror mode pretty much knows what I'm talking about. So a lot of times I don't want to use my glasses more than an hour or two. It makes me sleepy. Like, that's how bad the fatigue is. This beam allows me to have a display that is fixed in one place. It's called body anchor. So I can move my head around and the display is literally where I put it. It doesn't matter if I'm using my phone or my computer. This beam allows me to have that display and look around. If I want to watch a movie, if there's a lot of action going on and I'm constantly moving my head, that screen stays in one place. So I don't have that fatigue. And for so far, it works great. But connecting and streaming, there's just a whole bunch of things that a lot of people are going to be very, very oblivious to. Well, a lot of things that people don't know because no one has talked about it. And I'm going to be talking about them in this video. So this is going to lead me straight into, first of all, I'm going to go into the things that I like about this product. I like mainly the fact that I can have that display in one place, move my head around, and it stays there. That's great. Two, I like the fact that I can actually stream to this, even though I don't use the stream as much, because unless you're watching a video on YouTube or ESPN, streaming is not as great on this because of DRM. But I like the fact that I can have display that is stuck in one place. That's basically the one reason why I got it. Now, here are some things that I don't like. There's a lot. First is charging the device is actually more of a headache than you would have thought it is. I've tried about 10 different chargers and only one out of that 10 worked. It's a Type-C, right? You would think anything with the Type-C would charge it. Nope. There's been times where I put it on a charger for 12 hours only to find out it's not charging. So you would have to literally try a bunch of different chargers to make sure that it charges. And even when I did find a charger that charges it, I've not been able to charge it to 100%. Every day that I charge it, it would only charge up to about 94%. Even when I leave it all night for like 12, 15 hours, it would charge up to like 94% and basically just never stop, never fully charges. And when it's charging, the fan is constantly running inside, which is annoying because it gets warm. I don't know why, but the fan is constantly running and it bothers me. It also bothers me because when you're using the glasses, either when you're streaming or when you're wired, the fan is constantly running. It gets hot. Like the fan, it's noticeable. I'm gonna put a video on the screen so you guys can hear how loud the fan is. Can you hear the sound? Now, if you're watching something, the fan is not as distracting, but to the person next to you, if a person is sitting right next to you, if it's in a quiet place, they're definitely gonna hear the fan. So I don't know why the fan is constantly running. It's annoying, and I don't know why. Another thing I don't like about this is that, so when I'm streaming from my iPhone, it is a little bit older iPhone, but it basically works the same way. When I'm streaming wirelessly, sometimes it would randomly disconnect and I'll have to restart the device. But this happens more often than I would want, you know? So sometimes I would have to restart the device, or sometimes if it's my phone, I would have to disconnect, and just a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do every now and then for connection. Like I have YouTube Premium, right? But for some people, but I've heard some people say that if they're using YouTube on it, that whenever an ad comes on, the glasses might disconnect. Now I don't know about that because I use YouTube Premium, so I don't know if that's for them, if it's just happening for them, or if it's more likely to happen for everybody. But that's just what I've heard. So that's connection issues, right? And then for an Android phone, not all Android is compatible, but they can be. You just have to do some extra steps that no one is talked about in this video. And it's a way to go into developer. You're gonna go into the developer and you're gonna force desktop mode. And I'm gonna be showing you guys in this video how to force desktop mode. And man, when you finally do it, you're gonna see that your Android phone is a lot more capable than you realize it is. And I was able to do it, and I'm gonna show you how I did it and how you can connect just about any Android phone to the glasses. The number one reason why I don't like this is because of streaming with Netflix, Hulu, and Prime. When I'm using Samsung DeX, I can watch Netflix, I can watch anything with no problem. But if I'm not using Samsung DeX, if you want to stream wirelessly, Hulu, Netflix will not stream. Well, they're gonna stream, but you're gonna have a black screen. You're gonna hear the audio, but you can't see anything. And that's because of something called DRM, digital rights management. Digital rights management prevents you from being able to watch any video wirelessly from Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and pretty much streaming TV apps. You can still use ESPN and you can still use YouTube, but everything else that displays videos most likely would not work. I mean, you can use it for your other apps like games and stuff like that, but the major ones, like most people would want to watch, Netflix. Most people would want to watch Hulu or Prime. I mean, these are things that I feel like should already be available. Now, to Xreal's credit, they did say that it's coming soon. The ability to stream, content wirelessly is going to be coming soon. But I want to say this: never buy anything based on a promise from the manufacturer. I bought this Samsung watch over a year ago, and Samsung promised a body temperature. Still not here. Now, they did release some kind of beta body temperature for women to measure their period, to predict their period cycle. I'm not a woman. That doesn't benefit me at all. I want the actual body temperature. Not that I really need it, but I want it. If you promise me it's gonna be there, then I want it. You know what I'm saying? Samsung also promised Google Assistant. It took them so long for them to finally release Google Assistant. So if Xreal is telling you they're gonna give you the ability to stream DRM content, that might not be in the next 1 month. That might be in the next 6-8 months. Xreal released this last year. I bought this last year. There is still no official Windows Nebula app allows you to stream, content spatial and have digital virtual monitors. They have a beta that I'm actually testing, but they don't have an official release for the public yet. And this came out last year. So if they're telling you they're going to allow DRM content, it may not be soon. Also, when you plug your glasses into this, you're going to see in the screen that says, more apps coming soon. But what is soon? Soon is soon like next couple months, or soon in like 6 months to a year? My point is that don't buy this right now if you don't have the ability to connect your phone wired and being able to watch things like Netflix and Hulu is important to you. If you cannot connect to this wired, either through your computer, through your game console, or whatever it is, if you can't connect to a wired Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and video services like that require DRM, will not work. So if that's your sole reason for wanting to buy this, do not buy it. However, if your phone, your computer, or things can connect to a wired, then all those things will work. So that's very important to know, because a lot of people are buying this thinking they can stream Netflix wirelessly. It's not going to work. You can stream everything else wirelessly, but you cannot stream Netflix, Hulu. I'm sorry I keep saying this over and over, but I feel like this is very important. Like, no one is mentioning this. Like, why? It makes no sense why nobody's mentioning it. Oh, one more thing that annoys me is to save battery life, right? I always turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. But every time you turn it back on, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi is enabled. I just want to turn it off and let it stay off, because I use a wired anyways. Why does it always turn back on every time I turn it on? I know these are small things, but trust me, when you start using this, you will find out how annoying they are. Having that wireless thing, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth coming automatically, is annoying because it actually drains the battery quicker. So by turning it off and just wanting to stay off, doesn't sound like a big deal. But when you start using it and your battery is down pretty fast, you will quickly realize, oh shit, maybe I should turn it off. Shit, maybe this is annoying. Things like that. Anyways, despite all of that, I still think this is worth it, personally. It's worth it because I happen to have a phone that connects to this wired. My computer can connect to this wired. So for me, it is absolutely worth it. For those of you that don't really care being able to stream Netflix, Hulu, Primes, and all that stuff, this may still be worth it because you can still watch ESPN. So a lot of people can, watching boxing, UFC, PFL, any kind of mixed martial, any kind of sports really, you can still watch it on ESPN through these glasses. I've tried it and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. There's also something else that I want to mention. You can actually connect Google TV to this. I've made a video about a month ago or so on how to connect Google TV to your Xreal glasses. The same method is going to work with this. So you can actually play Android TV. So that might be another reason why it's worth it. Now, for those of you who have Android phones and you've tried to cast to this device and it's not working, I'm going to show you a way that no one has talked about yet, but it's a tip on how to force your Android phone to run desktop in a way. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, just feel free to drop it in the description. I'm going to be making more videos on, the things that you can do with this. It is Android based, so you can actually jailbreak it. Some people are already doing it. If you go on Reddit or Discord, there are people that already jailbroken this and already started installing apps. So you can do that. Personally, I'm still going to do it, but I want to wait to see what kind of apps Xreal releases for this. And I really don't have a need to jailbreak mine just because I have Dex, and Dex is basically a better version of Google TV, except, you know, now, anyways, thank you for watching.